Morning everyone, it's Kevin from the Figaros Club. It's great to be with you. I'm so glad you're watching this video because it means you're interested in learning more about the rust on the Figaro car. It is by far the biggest problem the car has. Some of it's down to a design fault as to when the car was first built, certainly with the wings on the car, the way that the chassis was welded together and the cavities, which has caused lots and lots of issues with the rear wheel arches. The sills as well can cause a lot of issues. In fact, recently one of our members up in Scotland, I'm sure he won't mind being mentioned, Ken Graham, he spent £3,500 on his car to have it basically brought back to how it should have been when it rolled off the production line. The car had to have major work done, had to be completely resprayed as well in parts of the car. That is not unusual, and that figure is not unusual. Anything between 1,500 to 2,000 for sill repairs sometimes we've seen here at the club. It really is an important issue. One of the things we strive to do in the Figaro Owners Club is to educate people about how to look for these issues, how to keep an eye on your car, what to do, and if you do find rust, obviously it's one of these preventative things. The more you look at the car, the more interest you take in looking for the rust. It will pay dividends in the long run. In the UK, the car are MOT'd. That should find problems, but it doesn't always do that. So don't take that as gospel that the car's passed the MOT, so it's all okay. Please keep an eye on the car and watch out for rust on it. So without further ado, I'm going to take you through to Kristen Brooks, which was a video we made a couple of weeks ago at the ACE-CAF and is really, really important. Kristen goes through loads of information about what to look for, where to look for it, and etc, etc. We've obviously got lots of publications on our website as well. So without further ado, let's cut across to Kristen and enjoy the video. See you soon. Bye.
Shop is that we reroute those drain pipes so that instead of them draining out inside the sill and coming out underneath, we put those to come out inside the front wheel arch. So by removing that moisture straight away, it's going to instantly benefit. What goes hand in hand with that is then we also do a wax treatment. So the undersides are completely wax oiled. We also drill, which I'll show you in a second, on some panels inside, because your sill sections are divided into two underneath. And we're then able to injection wax backwards, and we're sealing up anything inside. Now, Now the wax itself normally lasts somewhere between 3 and 5 years, but the nice thing is that every year that you have the vehicle service, you should just be checking up, because the wax will also degrade over time that it goes through, because again, the salts that we have on the roads, car washes, etc. will cause that to break down as well. So here are, when you look at this here, so this is actually the sill section underneath your vehicle cut into half. So this is the wheel arch here, and then this is how you look inside your actual sill section. So these are the panels that we use at the Figaro shop that are put together, and then inside here you can see how it's divided into two. So the common mistake that people don't realise is when you have this roof drain hole that puts water inside here, obviously you're constantly going to be rusting. So obviously we drill in this heel plate, is what it's called, which is the rear wheel arch, and then we actually then wax all backwards and put a grommet and seal the grommet back in. So it's always removable when you need to, and you can do that with a bore scope to check on how that's going, but instantly sits with it. And the next bit that goes with that is the wheel arches on the Figaros. Most people have probably been through that already, or at that stage where they're rusting. So this here is how the wheel arch actually sits up against the seal, and then this panel here, this one's been cut off so you can see what it's like. So this is the inner wheel arch. This sits like this inside. So just so you can see, Kev.
Yep, got it.
So this sits inside. Now this inner wheel arch, the reason why these rust is you can see where these actually have like mounting positions. You see the raised recesses. So these are where moisture sits in between the two panels from the inner and the outer wheel arch, and from factory again these are not sealed. So if you can imagine how the road usage goes, our weather that we have, you get moisture that sits in between these two panels straight away. So again, this causes the rust that you see on the wheel arches. So one thing that we do through the restoration process, and if you come to us, is when we replace the inner and the outer wheel arches, we actually seal that back up, so it prevents moisture going in between those two panels again. So again, a lot of the work that we do at the shop is actually preventative measure along with replacement, so then you don't get those problems moving on and moving on.
Can I just ask, Christian, do you think that was like a design fault when the Nissan was first built?
Yeah,
because obviously it's coming off the rear wheel.
Yeah, I think so. So a lot of the problems that you have is, obviously they're 34 years old, so a lot of the problems that we're seeing here is A, climate difference, because obviously the way that the weather is, obviously it actually interferes with vehicles differently, but also the techniques on rust prevention and things like that, and waxes have like excelled massively over the years. So the things you have is technology's massively helped us improve what's now there, and the best bit is once they're done, it should be future-proofing it, and that's the most important bit. One thing that you have about these roof corners that we spoke about earlier is that if you're not checking that these drains are actually running clear, because they should be draining out, you'll actually find that these block up. As they block up, you can end up with water inside. But not only that, you've then got moisture sat around these panels. So some of you may have noticed that you have rust starting to generate around these corners. And obviously the only way of fixing that is by cutting them out. So these are some of the panels that we now have as well. So you can see how these are actually then made up. So these actually replicate the exact factory location. So again, it's fitting and forgetting. So again, what we tend to do with these is we use a corrosion protection as we're putting these in and we're welded in, and obviously then we cavity wax injection side once they've been done as well. So a lot of it is fixing the problem and moving on. Many of you know about the roof rubber. Again, they all start to curl up. Sorry, obviously bales starting to curl up on the corners. The problem you have with these is over the years these go flat, and obviously as the rubber goes obviously through different heat cycles, you end up the rubber starts to shrink and go hard as well. So obviously through that now, we used to be able to warm it up, try and make it more supple, glue it in stages to kind of stretch it and kind of put it to how it needs to be. But the problem you have with that, as it stretches, the rubber goes more flatter. So again, you end up with either water problems or you have wind noise and things like that. So we've now replaced this as well. So we keep these two. And then obviously as you move on, we spoke about the seals. The big one is just doing the checks. You know, we have so many clients now that we see that Figaros can be serviced by anybody. They really can. That's not us saying that you shouldn't come to us, but it's all about the actual checking what's there, because a lot of garages won't necessarily check for the corrosion spots or know what they're looking for. So the big thing is making sure that they're familiar with the weak points on the Figaro. So like doing the mechanicals, so like servicing it and MOTs and air filters and spark plugs, they're all basic requirements, but it's the extra bits on how these are maturing that we're now finding that garages are missing.
Can I ask about when the car's MOT'd?
Yeah.
What type of checks do they do that would flag that up?
Yeah, so MOT checks are done for legalities. So that's obviously safety checks. So they will be looking at like your bushes, your braking system, your tyres, your sills, because obviously the part of the chassis is the sill section. So that's the structural integrity of the vehicle. The same with like the seat belt mounting. So these are located like on the back edge of the actual sill. Again, we see those very often are rotted through. So touch wood, none of you guys did, but if you did have an accident, the seat belts would pull through the floor. Yep. So obviously they're the safety aspects. So on an MOT, they will get pulled up, and that may be why some of you guys have witnessed MOT failures on sills and things like that. But through servicing, your garages should be picking up those problems. So obviously they're the structural points that they should be checking, not just checking the brakes and doing the oils and filters. Yeah. So it's the extra bits that go with it. Does anyone have any questions?
I have a question. Sorry, not me at the moment.
He always jumps the gun.
No, but we in the club we do get inquiries about people having wet carpets in the passenger side. Just explain what that could be.
Yeah, so there's a couple of options. One could be that the heater matrix has failed.
Right.
So the heater matrix on a Figaro is located inside the dash, and when they fail, it leaks particularly into the passenger side footwell. Easy way to test that is normally through smell, so it actually smells quite sweet. And the worst way, which I don't advise doing, what some of the guys can, if you can't tell the difference, it actually tastes sweet as well. So on the tip of your tongue, it tastes sweet. So that could be number one. Number two could be the actual drain hole. So if these are blocked up, what can sometimes happen is if the rust is too extensive, the water will run down on this A-post on the inside of it and then drop out where it goes to the door, and that will come straight into the footwell.
Right, that's interesting.
We also find as well now, if you've got rust underneath these here, which you won't see unless you've got a problem, this can also generate water to come through inside. So So these chrome fixings around the windscreen itself, they're located in a series of clips and bolts, and they have a plastic grommet that goes around them that they actually sit into, and over the years obviously you have moisture that sits there, and you've got constant movement, generates obviously rust as well. So I know I'm sounding like I'm really negative with rust, but I'm just trying to give you as much advice as we can. It's all about checks. I'm not expecting you guys to start going taking off chromes and looking, but a series of water tests is normally pretty good, and you can see where it's coming from. At least we can define where it's coming from and kind of then elaborate from there.
Any questions, guys?
Pardon?
It's straightforward, divert the water.
It is, yeah. So we've actually done a how-to guide. I think you've done one as well, Kevin.
We did, yeah.
Yeah,
we've
so
got
there's
a
a
diagram.
how-to guide on the website, exactly how we do it and how Kevin does it as well. And all it is rather than drill one hole on the inside wheel arch, which you remove the plastic arch liner, and then have to come out on either side. There's a little spout about this long that comes out, and it's completely extended. You don't need to extend it, it's already there.
It's already there.
So you
just reroute it.
So you just reroute it, so you don't actually need anything other than the grommet.
Can we just explain that to the camera then? What we're saying here is, at the moment,
so inside this wheel arch here, so jack up the vehicle,
Yep.
remove the wheel, remove the plastic arch liner.
Right.
So obviously if you've got a mud flap you'll need to remove that too.
Yep.
And behind here there is a location, like a flat piece of metal.
Okay.
I can't remember the size off the top of my head, but it's on the actual forum that we've done obviously with that how-to guide. And then you can actually see the actual hose in there, and you can just reroute it through.
Reroute it.
Put it through a grommet, because obviously the last thing you want is a hose going against a sharp edge.
Yeah.
And then otherwise it will
so
split
this is a hose that currently sits
underneath into the sill.
And drains into the sill.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's really a great modification.
Oh, massive! Yeah, massive. When we replace the sills, we do it to every vehicle.
Yeah.
We do,
So it's never going to happen again, is it?
No.
Okay.
Future-proofing every time.
Any questions, guys? Questions about rust? Anything?
So the drain holes up here, or in general, so if they're blocked, I was actually just having a conversation with another lady about it, and we actually advise you to use, I don't know if you can remember, like the radiator cleaners, you know, they're on like a little spring and it's like a bendy metal. You can use that. Some people we've seen have used like a metal coat hanger and bent it back out again. I know it sounds quite crude. The guys obviously at work, we use airlines because obviously we've got the pressure to be able to do so. So if you have access to that, you can do it with air. But anything to be able to just clean them out. A nice way of testing is just use a watering can. So if you pour it in here and you see that it's coming out underneath the vehicle, you're running okay. If there's nothing coming out, we've got a problem.
Yeah. And with the compressors, is there any danger of blowing off the hose?
We haven't to date. So yeah, we've never had a concern. Obviously, I wouldn't go flat out. Obviously, from it, you can do a test first.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've not had a problem with that before.
Okay, thank you.
No worries.
One other thing.
Yep.
The rerouting of the water as it exits the back here.
As in
Could
down
you
to
just
the
talk
bottom.
about that just very quickly?
Yeah, so on the back section you've got basically like a triangle shape how it sits onto the rear, and on the original rubber hoses that sit around here, what tends to happen is they're not really adequate designed to allow water to flow all the way down and escape. So we've actually done a modification where we put a little slit in the rubber to allow water to run better through it.
That's this piece here.
Yeah, so this triangle piece here, and what we actually do is, it's actually this one here, isn't it? On here, we put a little slit either side and take out around about 10 mil. And so basically when this rubber's compressed, because water sits around here, it allows it to flow and escape better.
Down here?
Yeah, it allows round into the drain holes and allows it to flow much nicer. If you have a new rubber, you don't need to do that because it's a slightly deeper profile that we've had with it, but on the old rubbers, 100%.
When I put a wire down the hole to kind of unblock it,
Yes.
Should my wire come all the way out underneath?
there's a T-piece.
No, so if you go in your lower boot,
Yep.
to just underneath, you'll see the secondary hose. It comes to like a T-piece.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's where you should sit.
Yeah. It's a good question though. Anyone else for any questions to do with rust?
Or anything.
Or anything? Anything
Figaro
while he's
related,
here.
obviously.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay, thanks very much, Christian.
No worries, guys. Enjoy
That's
the rest of your
all
day.
from us, yeah.
We're
Thanks
going to
very
carry on
much.
doing your health checks, so if you have anything, just come and grab us, alright?
Brilliant. Cheers.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, give me a round of applause. Thank you.